I am Bane, and I'm on an adventure. Today, this weekend, I am in the Shawnee State Forest in Scioto County, Ohio. And I'm going to do some bike packing. This area is known as the Little Smokies because of how hilly it is. There is a pretty popular backpacking loop here, the North Loop and the South Loop. And it is a quite difficult area to backpack. The North Loop and the South Loop each are about 20 miles. And it's just up and downhill the entire way. There's really no flat ground. Actually, my very first video I ever did was here attempting the North Loop. And I got rained out. I didn't know what I was doing. And within 6 miles, I was soaked. And coincidentally, it was in November. So I canceled and took off. I've never biked in this area. Alright, that's enough blabbing. I'm gonna get going. We'll do some blabbing some more once I get up on top of the ridge. Maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. Should be out. I'm going to do the North Loop today. And then if that goes okay, I'm going to do the South Loop tomorrow. And I'll explain that as we go. Anyways, on we go. And the climbing starts. I have a feeling I'm going to do a lot of pushing today. I don't know. Well, I've made it off the pavement onto the Forest Service Road. quite the climb. I was going to go do the Greenbrier this weekend, but this is really my first weekend out in the extreme cold. So I wanted to come out and test the setup a little closer to home. Whew. It was pretty cold when I got started, and I wasn't sure these pants was going to be warm enough, but pedaling up the hill, I warmed up a good bit. My intention here is I'm kind of doing a loop, which will have me camping back closer to my car, so that if I do have a problem this evening, I'm not too far from the car and I can make it up out of here without a problem. In the winter months, I'll be using my hammock setup and camping in the hammock. Believe it or not, the hammock is warmer than the tent. Now, maybe I just ain't tent camping right, but the hammock kind of like being in a cocoon. You can roll around in the hammock and you're not going to have a draft. Whereas in the tent, if you're not careful, you'll have a draft up underneath your quilt. I'm still heading up the hill. I'm just not on the pavement anymore. One thing about this route is you're heading up a hill or down the hill the entire time. Whether it's steep or not, it's always up or down. Now I'm calling this the North Backpacking Loop. I guess I should say the North Bikepacking Loop. The Forest Service roads I'm on will be following along the backpacking route. But bikes aren't allowed on the backpacking route. There's some horse trails in and out of the area, and I was planning on hitting some of them, but it's been raining the past 3 or 4 days, and I really didn't want to get off on a horse trail when they're wet. It was actually raining on my way here this morning. Anyways, short downhill before we go right back up. Riding along this ridge now. Follow along. The backpacking route crosses the road here. You can see over on the left where it drops down over the ridge. I was going to bike down to the other side, but I really don't want to be on the single track when it's wet. Down and right back up, following along the ridge. Not super pretty this time of year. up and down the entire way. The backpacking loop trail cuts across the road here. Horse trail cuts here. Originally I was gonna jump down that horse trail, but I really don't want to be out on the horse trail when it's wet. And back up. The backpacking route is just over the hill here to the right. That horse trail is down there as well. Trying to stay busy this winter. You know, I enjoy it being out and being on an adventure, but I've also grown to enjoy the video process. I've been able to keep up with the content weekly for a couple of months now. I'm trying to maintain that. I don't know if I can do it over the winter. I'm not sure I can get something out every week or not. But that's what I'm trying to do. Keeps my mind occupied. Whew. Copperhead Fire Tower, built in 1924. Apparently this is the first fire tower built in Ohio. It's a little noisy. Quite cold and windy. I just checked the weather. It's down to 35, not counting the wind chill. These gloves I'm wearing aren't doing the trick, so I might have to switch to my warmer gloves. Whew. Quite a view. Not the best time of year for the view, I guess. Quite windy. I believe we're looking north right now in Ohio. Scioto County is another southern county in Ohio, right along the river. Not really relevant necessarily to Shawnee State Forest here, but Scioto County, where Portsmouth, Ohio is at, and Portsmouth, Ohio is where the Ohio to Erie Canal came down to the Ohio River. You can still find some of the locks, the last few leading into the Ohio River down here. That's kind of neat. I actually drove by one for a few years before realizing it was there. But to be fair, I didn't know anything about them at the time. Alright, we're getting down out of this tower. I'm at the point where I'm quite cold. These gloves aren't doing the trick. I don't know. I'm cold. Just testing everything out. I forgot my puffy jacket, so it's a good thing I'm testing stuff out. Anyways, on we go. Well, I now remember why this area was so hard to hike in, at least when it's cold, because the wind is constantly blowing up here, It's 35 degrees, but it probably feels like it's 20. I was alright pedaling up here. I got warmed up, but it didn't take very long to get cold filming around the fire tower. Oh, quite cold. Well, I'm officially freezing. These cycling pants are not stopping the wind at all. And if I had any sense in me, I'd put my rain pants on as a windbreak. I had a longer loop plan today, but I'm cutting it a few miles shorter and getting down off of this ridge. I've got my warmer gloves on now, but my hands are still quite cold. I got my bike mitts with me. I should have probably been using them. Whew, it's cold. Down to 34 the last time I looked. Quite cold. Well, that's about it for this trip. I'm cutting it short. I originally intended on camping tonight. I don't think I'm ready for that. That's the north backpack loop, bike pack loop. Something's wrong with my camera. Anyways, it's quite cold, 34 degrees and windy. I don't know. That's gonna be it for this, and I'll see y'all on the next adventure. Like and subscribe, follow along. Must dress warmer. This is quality content. Like and subscribe.
Spain is the most awesome dude ever.